Let's move on to politics. Forget Biden. New numbers show Hillary Clinton's main rival, Bernie Sanders, gaining ground on the former Secretary of State. In a new Iowa poll, just 37% say Clinton is their first choice. Sanders, 30%. Still, the Iowa caucuses are 6 months away. But I want to bring in Tisch Sussman from the Center for American Progress and Kayleigh McEnany. And Kayleigh, if I mispronounced your last name, I'm struggling, from the Political Prospect founder and EIC. Ladies, good morning. I want to get to you first, Emily. What do you think? What do you make of the Iowa poll, the latest one?
Sure. I think it makes sense, given that we are still 6 months out in the caucus. If you look at where Sanders is pulling his support from, he's really pulling it from new caucus voters, so people that had not previously been engaged in the process. And if you look at why they're throwing their support behind him, it's because they hadn't heard of him before. They didn't know about his ideas. Iowa is very serious about their retail politics. They need people to come in, speak with them, and present to them. They knew about Clinton, as everyone in the country basically knows about Clinton, but Sanders was something new for them.
And Kayleigh, let's talk about Hillary Clinton, because it seems that, well, the comment that she made about the GOP and their stance on women's issues, comparing these candidates to terrorists, it seems like a move of desperation, that she will say anything to kind of change the focus away from her own problems, like the email scandal.
No doubt it was deflecting. That's certainly it. And as we can see with that comment, she's a bad campaigner. But not only is Hillary Clinton a bad campaigner, she also has lied to the American people, and they are recognizing that in a very palpable way. You look at voters, 1/3 said the most important quality to them in a candidate is trust, and yet 2/3 do not trust Hillary Clinton. That spells danger. And when you have someone who's a self-proclaimed Democrat socialist polling just 7 points under you, it shows Democratic voters are desperate for an alternative to Hillary Clinton. And Joe Biden, he should look strongly at entering the race for that reason.
And desperate for something on the right as well, in terms of Republican candidates. Donald Trump dropping hints over the weekend after his decision on whether or not he'll consider running as an independent if he failed to secure the GOP nomination. Here's a quote from him. In terms of victory, running as a Republican would certainly be the best path to victory. We're going to make a decision very soon, and I think a lot of people are going to be very happy. He must decide by September 30th. Emily, I go to you on this. Are people in the Democratic Party happy that he's running?
Donald Trump has added a very interesting element into the mix. I think the biggest thing he's done for the party, look, I am not one that believes that he will maintain as with the Republican nomination throughout. I think that what he has now is visceral. I think it will fizzle. And if you talk to people that are business Republicans, he does not have their support. He's speaking to something that's very base within the party. You do need that base to turn out in primaries. So once he doesn't make it throughout, where do those primary voters go now that they've been so riled up to their core to the anti-establishmentism?
I know that there is nothing that he can say or do that hurts his popularity right now. And on the ground, what you hear is people are willing to get behind him who even disagree with him on certain issues because they want to get behind a winner.
It's fascinating. I think it's not so much they want to get behind a winner, but they want to see something different. And that is what he brings to the table. But these aren't really ideas about how to move our country forward. It's a Twitter campaign, right?
He has very viable policy positions. You can go look at his immigration policy position paper, and you'll see an ample amount of facts and policies and ideas.
Well, people would argue with the word viable, Kayleigh, I think.
Yeah.
He's definitely a viable candidate. Polling in the 30s, he's a viable candidate, and I think that there's a good chance he gets the nomination.
One last thing, Kayleigh, but people say that if the Republicans can't get the Latino vote, they will not win. And that position paper, his position on immigration, alienates the vast majority of Latino
I'm not
voters.
Convinced that he couldn't get the Latino vote, because there are a number of Latino voters who are equally as frustrated by illegal immigration and want people to do the right thing and immigrate to this country legally as they did themselves.
But the idea of rounding up and
I agree with that.
Deporting even the illegal immigrants and their legal children.
Sure.
I think people
and
find
it's pulling the field to a ridiculous place. For Scott Walker to say it's also viable to build a wall to Canada, like it's just taking the field in a ridiculous place.
None of our candidates violated the rule of law, Emily. I think the Democratic field's in a perilous place, if we're going to be honest.
Well, it's going to be interesting. I know that. And ladies, it was great to have you both here, Emily and Kayleigh. Thank you so much. Please come back.
Thank you.
Thanks.